Welcome everybody to 48 Talk episode number 89. I am your host, Rage Bally, as always. Joining me this time is user crew of DXTakamina on the right, Derek on the bottom left, that Canadian guy on the bottom right, and joining us for the first time, it's Colin Janssen.
Hey, hello. Thank you for having me.
Everybody's so excited. So, time has changed everywhere, for not only for us, but daylight savings times and I think so, like completely time change, so jet lag everywhere. First off, though, welcome to the show, Colin.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome.
As always,
welcome.
for first time joining us, tell us how did you get into AKB48 and who is your Oshi?
I got into AKB48 like starting into 2016. Before AKB48, I was fan of Barry Scobo, from Hello Project. I loved them. I was able to see everything they did for their last 6 months.
Nice.
And because of that, watching like anime and a bit of shows, variety here and there, I got watching variety shows on YouTube. And one which usually included English, so I could understand it.
Yeah.
And one of the shows was Yamapi no Kiss Ego.
Oh yeah,
And that featured like Shoko Nakanawa,
yes.
Rio from the Doitsu club, and DJ Ko, for instance.
Yeah.
And one episode was with Minami. And
the episode with Minagishi and Yukirin, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
I saw her and I was like, hello. I thought she was beautiful. And I was having a ball. It was so funny with the slave instead of manager. And I afterwards came Yukirin and I was like, oh, who are these gorgeous girls? And then I got into watching AK Bingo, Nemosu, like watching them stuff, and eventually after after a year I managed to find an Oshi, and that's a Team A's, upcoming Team B, Sasaki Yukari.
Cool.
Yukirin.
Awesome.
Woo!
Okay.
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
You came prepared.
Yes.
Very good. As a question then, for what do you think current AKB is looking at compared to when you first started becoming a fan?
That was around the time that Takamina was leaving, and getting into the 2016 Sousenkyo. And what I saw back then was a group that was settled, where they found their place, and slowly getting into it much more, and understanding a lot more. Going into like late 2017 with Mayu leaving and getting into 2018, I see a powerful force that is coherent. But I lack what I think that they lack currently, or what they should get, and they can, is their own AKB itself, the Kami 7, like in the past with Itano and Mariko, and name them. But I see one face, that's Nachan, of course, for Robin, but I don't see that much others, if that makes sense.
There's no pillar. There's no more foundation. Where in the past, the Kami 7 was the foundation of AKB that pretty much has to be restored at the moment, I would say.
Yeah.
For now, it starts with Nachan, but she needs more support in that sense, I would say.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I think.
Very good.
I love it.
So before we get into our talk of the week, hey Derek, your background is changed again. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, even before I get into that, let me just say real quick, Colin, what an interesting story. Like, most of us have gotten into AKB through AK Bingo, but you had a different variety show route, and I think it's very cool what you said, and hopefully people caught what you said, because that's a really good show to watch, if you can find it in English subtitles. And the interesting thing even more is you said Michan was pretty. Like, not a lot of people, I think, equate her with like real beauty versus other members. More like she's a variety queen type. So that was interesting. You found her to be very attractive.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because I saw Misha and I was, she's pretty. She's pretty. And I got this sense of maturity in her. Funny, but mature. And I like mature. And then when I saw Yukari, I was like, who's that?
Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I saw a part of Utage today that's upcoming for the next one on the 29th, where Mayu and Sashi and Yukirin and Michan, they are doing a performance. And I saw Michan and I was like, ever since she got her teeth fixed, I don't want to be mean, I was like breathtaking. There's this photo shoot she did where it's all white on the background and she's like being something like that. And I thought, wow, like I really find her physically very pretty, and of course, she's great.
You're talking about Michan, right?
So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's interesting because Michan went through so many different changes. She's responsible for probably the most famous scandal in idol history, and but yet she developed her body into this like incredible like fit person that she's become. We haven't heard much from her lately, so I was a little worried that we'd be getting an announcement of graduation soon, because that's usually what happens right before they announce, is they go silent. But it is interesting because back then, I think when I was first getting the AKB, I also thought she was like kind of pretty different looking. Although if anybody catches this reference, I think she often looks like Gaichupin, which is like an anime figure in anime is probably not even the right word. It's like a mascot character in Japan. She has a big eye, like droopy eyes. But with Michan, what's interesting is when I met her, she really is physically gorgeous. Like when I shook her hand, it was like I couldn't even hold my breath. It was like I was just overwhelmed. And speaking of meeting her, I might be able to do that again because as Robin was saying, my backgrounds are changed. I am officially in Japan now.
Cool.
I have officially moved. It has been the absolute most chaotic week of my life. I missed my flight, and that was not my fault actually for once. But like 6 hours later, I actually ended up scoring a better airplane ticket, but it required me to stay overnight at LAX airport, which I don't advise anyone to ever do. 12, 13 hours later, I was in Japan, rushing in the rain to Shibuya, I want to say, to a venue to see my good friends in Necronomito and help out at the show. And I've been nonstop idling since. This morning I went to go see the Theirs, and that was an absolutely breathtaking, tearful performance. Got to meet my Oshi Ray for the first time. I never met her before. And then tonight I was at Necronomito's show, and I actually was doing Bupan. I was running the desk, or the merch, doing helping with checkies, and just and then afterwards was at a after party, and it's nonstop. It's like this whole week it's going to be like one idol show after another, and just getting situated, trying to get everything together. But it's been awesome. I have plans to go see SKE's handshake event in April. I want to get tickets for Tani and Kaotan, so that's kind of my goal tonight or tomorrow, is to get that done. And I can't wait for a national handshake event because I really want to see the NGT girls too. So
definitely.
Those are future plans.
Nice.
Yeah, so speaking of that, the new MV came out on that side. Did you have a chance to see that?
Yes, I did. Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, let's quickly review that before we get to our main topic.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so I saw it just now, and it's weird. It's super weird.
Yeah.
It's like
Yep.
compared to the
Yep,
second
it's out there.
single, it's like
Really
what
out
are they
there.
doing? I do like
Yeah.
the song. I do not like the cinematography in this MV. It's horrible film
Yeah.
making. I think this is one of the interns like go with it for the project. Lots of leg shots and just keep focusing on that. I don't know what kind of story they're trying to make in this MV. I don't, on MV side I hate it. But the song it's okay. It's fine. But their second single was so amazing compared to this one. It's a drop, I would say. There.
Yeah, let me just add real quick before everyone else comments. I just want to say two things. One, I agree with you, Robin. I think that this is kind of a recycling of the second single. I think I've said it before.
Yeah.
At least in the comments, I think I did. The NGT's new single actually sounds like they were kind of copying what they did with the second single in parts. I think they dropped the chorus. When it hits the chorus, it just loses me. It could have been a great song if they had done something different with the chorus, or just different overall, just something different, period. I think that's what's lacking in a lot of AKB songs at this day and age, is just trying to do something a little unexpected in the songs instead of just repetition, which is what the song I think suffers the most from. Two, the MV, I felt really uncomfortable. There was a lot of gratuitous shots of butts.
Yeah.
Like, particularly, I want to say Hanma's
the center, yeah.
I didn't like that. You know, I don't ogle the girls, and I felt like this was misplaced filming.
Well, I don't think it was the butt actually. The emphasis was more on legs, because I noticed that the start of the MV, it was just everyone's legs were checking out, and then during the MV it was most of legs. But yeah, because of the up shot filming, well, the butt isn't in view, and yeah,
unintentional perhaps.
It's unintentional, but the main focus was on legs. But I'm like, why is it on legs? It's like maybe it's somewhere in the title and the lyrics that I don't understand yet. But it really had a feeling like, yes, she has fine legs, she looks cute, but it's now distracting me in a way that I don't want to be distracted. It's like I'm enjoying the group for the music and, you know, their dances and their style. Don't focus too much on the you know, the body type, since that's not actually the reason that we're watching. Even though, you know, you have like the what we talked about last week, the Mitsuki MVs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's fine, it's fun, but don't focus too much on it that it becomes a distraction.
Yeah, like Robin, you're saying it so perfectly. Like it sounds like we're contradicting ourselves, because like on one hand, like we all like Mizugis, like they're amazing, but it's like the way they're filmed, it doesn't ever feel gratuitous or sexual in nature. Versus this felt like almost voyeuristic, unintentionally voyeuristic, but voyeuristic nonetheless. And also, I mean, don't get me wrong, the NGT girls, and people may debate me on this. I mean, some may say it's NMB has the title of sexiest group like in AKB, but I think the NGT girls got NMB easily there. I just feel like overall NGT has a wide variety of different girls that elude a type of sexuality that is very amazing to me, but I don't want it shoved in my face, if that makes sense. Like it's more like this I had to be there, right there. I felt like I was right behind holding the camera, and I don't like that. I didn't like that. I did like, there were some parts that were interesting and fun, and Ogi, every shot with Ogi and Katamino was pretty cool. Like Ogi is just so compelling visually overall, because her face is so different looking than just about any Japanese girl I've ever seen. But it's just overall, it was like, what the heck am I watching? Like it didn't even fit the song. So I will say NGT faltered there, although I will say that the song itself, it's not terrible. It's just a rehash of the second, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I just felt like after the second single, they were gonna go the Kea route and create like crazy creative songs, and they didn't. They just recycled. So I'm hoping their next one will be more creative and more different. So that's what I have to say about all that.
And one more complaint from me: not enough Mahon.
Yeah, that's to be expected. Yeah.
As my NGT Oshi, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Not enough Mahon.
All right. Anyone else on opinion for the NGT?
Well, the only thing that actually stuck by me was Kitaria handing the reins to the new generation of.
Basically, yeah.
That's the only thing that stuck by from this video. But for the rest, it was like, was an internship filming this or something? I don't know. But that's the only thing that stuck. Yo. Oh god.
Thank you very much, Yo, for that comment.
Nice.
Colin?
I like the colors. maybe that sounds weird, but I like that red and blue. It's this nice warm cold contrast, which is interesting in a way for me because the outside scenery, because it's winter and the song is about something relating to where the spring comes from. I like that. That's nice. I like the locations. I really like that. That's something that I always also look at, and how they feel and how that mixes. And I like I said, I like the colors as well. You know, to add on what everything else has been said, because I also think it's a bit weird. Like it started with the Johann Strauss music, and I was like, huh? What? Huh? That threw me off. I was like, huh? Okay, that's odd. But I besides what I just said, I don't really have anything to add. I agree with what Derek said.
I also found it weird with the Yukurin part that she stops the song in the middle just to say her Weather Girl lines, and it's like, okay, thank you. You just
comedy.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see what happens with the coupling songs that comes out for the NGT, but I don't think this one as compared to the second single, this will be a downside.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on then to the big news that happened one day after we filmed our show, of course.
As usual.
As usual. Well, they announced it ahead of time, so it's like, okay, thank you very much. Yeah, so the 51st single just came out and it sold. Gesundheit, Yeo. Right away, they announced the 52nd single lineup. And I watched this on Showroom, and it was pretty funny. They have some new MCs for the AKB back, and they were reading some Showroom chats, and everybody was like just ridiculing them. It's like, where's top lead? Where's top lead? And they called it out for him. I think one of them even said, well, I'm not a criminal or something. So it's like, ooh. Just, and so they got in there. Like all members were just watching Showroom as well. I think there was a viewing party. And it's really fun. Like, this is a big company, you know, AKS. But they still have to do like last-minute whiteboards and pictures and in wrong order and trying to connect the calls. There was some funny moments and touching moments when one of the members who got in got the manager on the line, and the manager was even teared up. It's like, oh, thank goodness, it's still going great. You made it again, and that was pretty nice. So
was that the HKT manager?
Yeah, that was
for Nako, right?
Yeah, that was Yabuki Nako indeed. But let's go into the list. Let's see. I don't have the exact lineup.
I've got it here.
Oh well, go ahead.
I'm going by team then. From Team A, we have Kato Rena, Mikai Chibiyon, and Yokoyama Yui. Any thoughts?
From Team A, yeah, that's a pretty good Team A side.
Yeah.
No, I was more thinking about the position actually. So from number 28, because it's a 28 Senbatsu this time.
Yeah, shorter.
It's a little bit shorter normally than the 32.
Smaller, I mean.
Yeah, but still too big.
I don't have the position list. I've only got the team list here.
Yeah, I'm seeing the picture with the position list, but I don't see the name, so I don't want to butcher everything on that site. I believe from NMB, it's Yoshida Akari is in there on number 28. I think that's correct. Number 27 is HKT48 Yabuki Nako. From, let's see, Okabe Rin is on number 26. From Ken Kyusei is in there. Which one is that actually? The Ken
Mizuki.
Oh,
yeah.
Very good on that side. Then we have number 24, Fukuoka Sena.
Also the first. Those over here. Sorry, people with headphones. Sorry.
Yeah, Yamamoto Ayaka from NMB48 on number 23, and Matsuoka Hana from HKT48 on number 22. So let's talk about the back row. What do you think of that lineup? Anyone?
It's really good actually. Zuki making it in along with Sena. Sena finally in Senbatsu for
finally.
AKB. It's about
that's
time.
the big news.
It's been way too long. It's been way too long. And I'm happy for Zuki because she's doing also really great with her own thing, I would say. So yeah, it's pretty good lineup, I would say.
Totally agree, and I think that it is interesting that Hana-chan constantly gets pushed by HKT.
Yeah.
Like you would think Vivian would get it, but it's interesting. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, so what we're mentioning, Yabuki Nako, when she got called up, the manager was just crying out, and being happy for her. That was very touching. Hearing Fukuoka crying as well on the line, just watching showroom, being so happy that she made it. This is all a good lineup, but again, the single before the Sousenkyo is always like the view of what management thinks is like a future or like a idea of Senbatsu style, except for the center position. So I'm looking these. So how many of these will we see in Undergirls?
Ooh. 17 till
30.
No, let's go in the last row first. So only the last row first.
Let's see, Undergirls.
Yabuki Nako I'll see in Undergirls. I see Fukuoka Sena in Undergirls. I don't see Hana-chan there.
No. From 80? Well, maybe she does Dark Horse. I forgot her name. What? Ogiyuka. But you know what's weird? I am probably one of the only people that is okay with her. I kind of like her, Hana-chan. It's really weird.
It's fine, but she's been forced because of a running gag on Odekake that's now been cancelled. So
I don't mind it. I'm fine.
I'm seeing Okabe-rin could be in there. Yamato Aika would be in there. So management has a pretty good idea what the fans will vote for the last row, but we'll see what happens on that side. Okay, so we move on to the next row.
Yes.
Okay, so then on number 27 we have Komiyama Haruka. That's more than unexpected. From STU48, Takino Yumiko. Then we have, let's see, which one is on number 19? Or is that actually... Who is that? So we have 1, 2, 3 from NMB48 and 4. Okay, so...
4.
So... Is that Shiroma Miru? No. 5 actually then.
No, from NMB I believe there were 4 and 3 for SKE. Because there are 14 members of AKB.
I'm terribly sorry. So SKE48 was then Obate Yuna on number 28.
Yeah.
Yoshida Akari is then on... Let's see... Yoshida Akari is number 23. And on number 19 is Yamamoto Ayaka. There we go. So on number 18, it's... Who is that? Is that Team A, someone?
Let's see, Team 18. Number 18.
Yeah.
Isn't that Okabe-rin?
That's Okabe-rin. So who's on 26 then? Yeah.
Kubo Satona, I think.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, Satopi.
Okay. Number 17, it's Kato Rena.
Yes.
From AKB48, and then on number 16 is Nakai Rika from NGT48. And on number 15 it's Murayama Yuri again from AKB48. So what do you think of this lineup for this row?
Ooh, Yuri becoming Murayama Yuri becoming a staple Senbatsu member right now. I think it's in the works right now. She's going to move up and move up more. So.
She is actually said she's going to apply for Sousenkyo this year for very first time. So I feel
talk about Funky Rage.
I feel obligated to buy at least one CD for her.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is it's just another person in the mix, man. I mean this year couldn't have.
Yeah.
So this year has so many possibles for top center, honestly, or at least the top 3 or 4. Like it's really gonna be the craziest race I think in Sousenkyo history. I honestly think it is because it's so wide open at this point. And now with Sei-chan, you can't discount that girl because she has a devoted following, and like I have a feeling she might even pull an Ogi come prelim. You know,
Possibly.
like
I was so looking forward to it. Actually,
I could totally see it. Honestly, I can. Like Seichan's powerful, and she's great. She's a good person too. Like she always gives off good vibes. She's not like a jerk or anything. So
No.
I don't know.
I
But the real question is Komi though.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I didn't
That's-
expect to
that's
be
the
her
question.
on the that row. I expect her to be one
Same
up.
here.
one up, one
Right.
lower, yeah.
Right. Same here. So
Uh,
Komi, you have to ask: is Komi's light shining, or is it fading, or is this just the calm before the Komi storm? You
Dimly
know?
I
lit.
don't know.
it's like
I'm
management
afraid
has
to
the
know.
idea that it's like she is there and sometimes not there. So it's like
Right.
she needs to have something more. Well, I think she'll make it if she keeps going the momentum she has right
Yeah.
now.
Mhm.
But it's like
I mean,
mm,
I don't know. I mean, AKB is losing top tier members left and right, and it's like Komi has always been a top tier member in my opinion. But it's like they'd be silly to not put her deep in ranking. Her fans would be silly to do that. Like AKB fans overall would be silly to push Komi out of the race because if you push her too hard, she's gonna quit. She's gonna just be like, screw it, because she almost did. And it's like I think AKB would suffer immeasurably if she left at this point because she is really, to me, the next 3 or 4 years, easily the face of AKB, along with like Takahashi Jerry and Natchan, you know, and all these girls, like, you know, the 15 gen powerhouses, like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
definitely. Mhm.
Like, it'd just be weird if she got like deep, like low ranking and,
Even lower.
you know, even lower, yeah, which it's
Or,
possible because,
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wanted to say like an even bigger decrease than last year, from going
Yeah.
to 21 to 55, I believe.
Oh, crazy.
Good words.
I remember
That's
she was ready. She was mic dropping, like she was ready to kill somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You could see it on her face. She was trying so hard to like do the idol fake, like happy, but you know, inside she was like, screw all these.
Yeah.
the one I'm still have my doubts on is Katorena, if she actually deserves that spot, not just because of her Renachi Sousenkyo or what she, you know, applies. Well, the photo book is coming out. That is looking great, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still have my doubts on Katorena.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't care for Katarina. Like meeting her did not impress me. She wasn't nice to me, but she is undoubtedly beautiful. She's not my kind of beauty, but she's beautiful. Like a lot of people think that way. She's getting her own photo book. That should say something. And then she's also very smart. Like she has a sort of, like, how do I put it? Like I don't want to say hidden intelligence. That sounds demeaning, but it's more like you don't instantly think of her as, oh, Miss Smart Girl, you know, in AKB. But look what she's done. Look how she's drawn attention to unknown members. That's smart because that puts her in the spotlight by default. That makes her a good person by default. So that's really manipulative, but it's like a good kind of manipulative. It's very smart. So, you know, she's a double threat in that sense. She's beautiful, but she's also like kashikoi, you know,
She
tensai.
was on Nemesu. You had the like the tests battles, and she always
Yeah.
came out on top, like rarely
Right?
even losing
Yeah.
during
See?
those moments. And even the center test, she did pretty good.
That's my point. My point exactly.
Yeah, Nakai Rika, that's another thing. That's she's still trying to be. Well, management is still trying to be her the #1 from NGT. But I think this is a good spot for her. But she needs to show me something else because on her show, the NGT, what you call No Friend something.
Oh, you got no friends, yeah.
She's getting a little bit with the NGT crowds. She's not the popular one actually. That's very interesting to me. It's all Ogi on that side.
Okay.
I mean, she's in a very crowded group of awesome girls. Like they're
True.
like the old AKB. Like there's just member after member have their own personalities, quirks, talents, followers. You can't touch NGT. So Nakai Rika, if we notice, remember, what is she doing now? She's expanding now. She's going to what, like that permanent drama. There's a rumor that she might even move from NGT to AKB because she'll have to be in Tokyo so much to do. Well, no, it's not a drama. It was a talk show or something, a variety show, I think. So I don't even know if she cares at this point about her status in NGT. It would be curious to see if she migrates over to AKB like in like a kind of a one-off transfer, like not through like a shuffle or anything. What do you guys think? Do you think that could happen?
Well, she is quite busy with that program anyway, but I
Right.
don't know how much time does it take up for her. How much does that program take up on her schedule? I would say because that's something I
Right.
don't really know.
That's the question.
Hey, Yo, do you have any opinions?
About Nakai Rika?
Yeah.
On Nakai Rika, I think what Derek just said, Shashi is still HKT even though she lives in Tokyo, so
That's true.
Well,
That's true.
like,
Sashi also has 5 regular shows every week, plus all the other guest
Right.
stars she does in the meantime.
Yeah. So like, so I think she will not move to AKB because Shashi can do it. So.
Right. True. But
And it's also Niigata versus Fukuoka, so I'm like,
yeah, that's true. That's not as far, I think, right? So
Nope.
and I don't think there's much more work compared to in Tokyo. Who knows? Next lineup though, next row.
Interesting.
Colin, you were saying about the Kami 7 is missing. I'm actually seeing the Kami 7 right here, except for one of the positions, but you can easily change that with the center that we were talking about later. So, starting from number 14, we have from NMB48, Shiroma Miru.
Yes.
Yeah.
From NGT48, we have Ogino Yuka.
Hello.
On number 12 spot, we have AKB48's Okada Nana.
Hey.
From the center row, second line, it's Mukaichi Mion from AKB48. SKE48, Suda Akari. AKB48, Takahashi Juri. And then, of course, Buddy Buddy on number 8, Kojima Mako from AKB48. This, to me, is the powerhouse row. Like, this is the third chapter, all aces, powerhouse group. Like I said, I like Suda Akari, but I think she's still old school compared to the one who's center. So if you switch those two, you have like the future Kami 7, I would say, from that side.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree on that one actually.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with it either. Like I think that is, 26.
Who?
Something.
Suda Akari?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So compared to the rest, she is the older one that from that lineup. So I get what you're saying, that the others are more, in a way, fresher than her, because she is, for me, she is like what SKE embodies. Same with Jurina, in a way. Maybe I'm the only one who thinks that. I like her as well. I think she's a great dancer. Great body, how flexible she is. I would agree that she is also, she's Kami 7 already in Sousenkyo. And I would be surprised if she wouldn't rank at least one spot higher upcoming or even next year.
So 4th, she will come.
I would not be surprised. But it's it's very tough competition this year.
I think her safe place always 5th place, and she'll stay there permanently till she's gone, I think.
Probably.
Anyone?
I was gonna say like Dasu's old, as far as like the AKB world goes. She's on her way out. I think like if she was ever gonna be the center, that time has passed. But I would say, as far as like this being a reflection of the Sousenkyo, or at least future Sousenkyos, yeah, absolutely agree. But at the same time, I don't know, like to me, the big issue here for me is that Nachan is so high up, when you would think they would have maybe followed right up from, the single before this with maybe another Nachan single, or at least a double center. The fact that they relegated her so far back, I was at least thinking of number 2, but they didn't.
Well.
That's bothersome to me.
I'm gonna interrupt on that side. The 12th position doesn't mean she is in the number 12 spot. She is directly behind the center on the second row. So in their minds, the second row, if you look at it as a separate entity, it is Mukaichi Mion is for management as the center, and you have on the left side Okada Nana, and then on the right side you have Suda Akari. The only difference on that side is the center will come up later. But if you look at the first lineup, 3 of them will not be entering the Sousenkyo. And if you then look at the people who are in there, those are the top in the Sousenkyo. So I'm not worried about the position that she is like. If you compare her, if she would have Kojima Mako's position on 8th side, or even Shiroma Meru's, you wouldn't see her a lot during the MVs or like the live performances, because she would be on the outer side compared to the rest. So the position is like she'll be in like a lot of shots during the live performances. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's actually likely very close to being center as well.
But at the same time, I guess for me, like if we're looking at it from a position point of view, yes, everything you're saying makes total sense. I guess for me, I'm looking at it more like the mentality of not making Nachan the center for this song versus who we're gonna talk about is the center. I just feel like it's like cycling through your members versus like sticking with one member and making her the top. Like Techi is undoubtedly the center of Kea. They can have double centers all day long with the Yui-chans. It doesn't matter. It'll be Techi all day, every day. No matter, you shouldn't even have to be there, and we know that. And like early AKB, it was Maida. It was Achan was the undeniable center. Even when Yuko came along, Achan still held the crown. Yuko could only borrow it. Versus like now, it's like you have a chance to define a new queen even before the Sousenkyo like crowns her. And because Sashi's on her way out, so it's like, why not let Nachan be that girl? She's earned it. She deserves it more than possibly any other member at this point, in my opinion. I don't know. I was really expecting Nachan to be center, this time. So I'm not even talking about her 12th position. I'm talking more about the fact she didn't even get center. Although from what you're saying, Robin, technically she will be center because visually she'll be all over that MV, all over the dance spots. So that maybe is like, what they were going for.
We talked about this. It's like, other than Achan, there hasn't been like a like center in a row. So you haven't been second time in a row being centered during the single songs. It's always been someone different. So maybe it was on the mind, but there couldn't be like, hey, we can't do Nachan again.
Well, correction on that. Our fans definitely corrected you like 30 times in the comments. It was Mayu. She was center twice in a row.
Okay.
Labrador Retriever and Kibuteki Refrain, I think.
Okay.
They're counting that as center.
They're counting that as the second one in a row. Oh, really? Really? You're counting a double center position? It was mainly focused on Miyawaki Sakura handing the golden mic in that song. It's like, no, that's not even... The main focus on Kibuteki Refrain was for up-and-coming then, Miyawaki Sakura. But she had to need support, so they made it a double center. But the main center for Kibuteki Refrain was definitely Miyawaki Sakura. Fight me on that in the comments. I will prove you wrong every time. Also, during Kibuteki Refrain, we see Maida Atsuko return, we see Oshima Yuko return, Itada Tomomi, Mahardika. It's like, okay, Mayu is a center in a row. Hell no. It's the same saying from, but technically Yukari also had a center position in Green Flash.
Yeah.
Well, the only thing I can think about whenever I think of Kibuteki Refrain is, Takamina and Okamura. when they're doing the practice, and he's like, and she's like this, and you see his face, and he's like, yeah, like that is to me one of the most funniest things I've ever seen in my life. When I saw that the first time, honestly, I cried laughing. Like it's rare when I cry laughing because I'm laughing so hard. But his face and the way they did the camera shot between her and Takamina, like that's all I can think about with that song now. Like too smart. But anyway, sorry to go to sidetrack.
No, it's fine, it's fine. But still, I do not agree on that side. Oh yes, technically on paper, blah 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 blah. No, a single center position.
Wait, Coco no Placard and Labrador Retriever, there was something in between them, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Kiboteki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So technically, you could say 3 times then.
Technically.
That's it is. Labrador and Kokoro. Yeah, it was.
That's not a real victory. Come on.
You were in a single before it, so technically straight.
But overall, the point is still the same. It's no Achan. Achan, what she did, Mayu could like helm 5 in a row. Won't beat Achan's 20 plus, you know. So the point is that Achan was undeniably the AKB face. But now I actually think that enough time has passed, and we've said goodbye to all the old members with the 10th anniversary. I think it's time for a new chapter. We're in the 3rd chapter. I feel that's easily accepted by most wotas if we say that. Who can be the face? And honestly, why not Natchan? Honestly, why not?
Hey,
like Sashi, don't get me wrong.
I think. Go finish your thought, Derek. Sorry.
I was just gonna say I love Sashi. She did what she did, but even her, I don't see ever really as the face of AKB. I hate to say it. I love Sashi. Don't get me wrong. Love her fans, but Natchan has that chance. She has something different. She really is something special.
And I want I want to add on that because she was on Music Station. They did Jabaja, a special version on this side. So there were 50 different shots during the filming of the MV or during the live session, and all the shots were filled with Natchan. This was her challenge. Her challenge was, can she fill in all the positions while being on camera every single frame? And it's a fun performance because you see her like one side she's like going like Jabba Ja, and then it cuts and she's like, oh, there you are. Like, remember on Mechike when Yukarin was like, oh, I can see every camera, and she did the wink? It's basically that, only like 50 shots of Natchan trying to find the position.
Crazy.
On the one hand, I find it fun and challenging, and it really emphasizes Natchan. On the other hand, so you're finally in the Senbatsu for the first time. You're on Music Station for the first time. When is my airtime for I don't care how many seconds? Oh wait, it gets taken by Natchan every frame.
That's quite
good point.
And I'll get to her later, but Macharin had, of course, her first time on Music Station. You know, she was very happy to get the tissue box. She's like,
so many funny photos.
But how many times did you see her in frame on that Music Station performance? So it's like other members were non-existent, and I don't like that. I like them as a group focus and not just too much emphasis focus on the center. So, anyone else on this row before we all move to the front row?
Not yet.
Okay. Then, on number 7, for the Kami 7 side, is Kashiwaki Yuki from AKB48. Sashi Hararino from HKT48 on number 6. Number 5, it's Matsui Jurina. Standing next to, well, we'll move to number 3 right now because the center is number 4. Number 3, it's Miyawaki Sakura from HKT48. Number 2, it's Yamamoto Sayaka from NMB48. And number 1 is Yokoyama Yui from Team A, AKB48. So, when they all announced this, who was the center? And I actually had one moment like, there's only one name that hasn't been announced. Could be a center possibility, and it was from Team 8. It's Yui. No, wait.
Oguri Yui.
Oguri Yui. I just about to say the wrong name. So, at this front line, first I'm seeing the center is definitely the tradition they always do. they find a center that's like you've never been centered before, and we'll see we'll try it out. We do have, I think, you're a future ace. Same thing with like they did with Mikaichi Mion, and what was last year? Was it what was last year actually? High tension.
They had Should Sign first, then Nagai, Sukinanda, and then Anklet.
Oh, we lost Derek, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, the setup is all mixed up. Sorry about it, everybody. Let's see.
Your turn. But the last Senbatsu single was the single you also got, the Negai. That's
oh, yeah. So who was this? Oh, it was a double center.
Yeah, Jurina and Sakura.
Oh, this setup looks weird. Okay, I'm in frame right now. Yeah, it's like, let's see. Yeah, I'm looking at this front line, and basically, if you take the ones like we mentioned before, these are the top for the Sousenkyo. So if you go for 1, 2, 3, it's like Matsui Jurina, Miyawaki Sakura, and Yokoyama Yui as 1, 2, 3. That's the idea on that side.
Yeah.
It's a solid first row. I won't disagree on this side. The center, yeah, you can change it. It's a filler position. You can change it with anybody. But basically, it's this is the Kami 6, and then the center position you have a throwaway style in that. Welcome back, Derek.
Yeah, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi went out. My apologies.
It's fine. We were all scrambled in just other phase. It's okay.
It's fine.
We didn't mention too much on the front line. Just saying, remove the center and you have definitely the Kami 6. Even from the Sousenkyo, you remove who are not participating. You have the top 3. What people are thinking will happen, it's not set in stone, but yeah, Matsui Jurina number 1, Miyawaki Sakura number 2, and Yokoyama Yui number 3. Let's hear your opinions on the front row.
I don't like it.
You don't like it?
Yeah. How many girls from the positions 1 to 7? How many of them will not participate in Sousenkyo?
3.
3.
Sayane?
Yep.
No.
For the single that is going to be the Sousenkyo for voting, I don't like that they have, well, Sashi in it and Yuki in it, even though I love them, and they might not participate, including Sayane. Whereas the second row, when they announced the second row, I was like, okay, yeah, I know what the top 7 will be. Instead, I would love it for the second row to be the first row more, because those girls that I mentioned, they won't participate. So what will be the point besides come buy the CDs, we have Sashi on it, or why not shine light on Nana or Ogiyuka or even Miru?
How about 435,400 something votes from last year? Those fans, they still expect Sashi to be in there or have a chance, to get a ticket to meet Sashi, or they are still Sashi fans. And you compare that to the powerhouse of Yamamoto Sayaka and Kashiwaki Yuki being in there. If you remove those fans, there's a chance you won't, there is still a chance you won't get the high sales on day 1. Because they're like, oh, well, they're not in it, so I'm not a fan anymore. I'll buy something else where Sashi is in there. So I get your idea, but in the end, it's all about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly so.
Being the center, like, I usually don't check the handshake sales, because I don't like to see the numerical difference, because that breaks my heart. But with this one, I looked at it, and Oguri Yuri, if I'm not mistaken, was the highest seller last month. Maybe?
Yeah, she's the powerhouse seller.
So that's why I'm not really that surprised that she's center. I'm fine with it. I like it. Something else, Nana. No offense to Nana, she was center for the album, and then another single, which mixed reactions. Let's say it at that, including myself. And another one, I wouldn't. It would become a bit stale, but I would have liked Jurina or Miru. That would have been fun, or Jury. Why not? But it's all, like you said, about the ping.
Sadly, well, Derek, What's your opinion?
I agree totally. I think Colin's right on the money with what he said, and also I think if you're gonna include members that are on their way out the door and give them prominent position, you can look at one of two ways. One, that you're honoring those members, saying, hey, we want to give you some more final spots before you go, or two, you can realize, hey, we're in this third chapter, maybe we should start really pushing the members that need it. Although having said that, making Yui center, I guess in a way that is kind of pushing the new generation, but I was also kind of hoping for the girls around her to also be very fresh, very new. Like for example, Takino from STU. I think she's proven in a very short time, like on Stu Bingo, like this girl's going places. She's got something. AKS was wise enough to see that last year when we saw her face on the Sousenkyo poster, and we're like, who's this girl? And then we realized, oh, this is why, because she's freaking awesome. And why not put her way up there, especially considering Stu's, it's a sister group and they could use some leadership power, and historically what we're seeing is all the sister groups get their top members at least somewhere close to the front of the line, and Stu still doesn't have that really. I mean, unless you want to count Nachana, but I'm not counting her, but I'm saying like Takano could have been up front, you know what I mean? There's so many other girls, why not give HKT a little bit of a resurgence there in that sense? So it's just, to me, of course it could have been done better. It's easier to say that because we're not in their positions to make these lineups, but I just wish there was a little bit more rhyme and reason to it that I could see. And I agree with Colin. I think it's just kind of like a little bit of a wasted spot effort there. Why not give it to other girls instead of these girls that are on their way out? Would you agree, Colin? Yeah,
I would agree. I mean, and in the end, for me, the members in the single doesn't influence my liking of the song. So for me, even if this lineup was even more garbage, not to say that it is garbage, but first row, if I like it, I will like it, regarding who is in it. But wasted potential, maybe. They could have done it differently. But maybe we'll see at the 54th single, after SSK.
Still have to say though, why didn't management take the chance? Because it's this voting single. It will sell. It will get the million sales easily because it is the voting single. So
I mean,
why not go with the? Why not take the chance with the new generation? I would say.
There's no loss there. There's no major risk when you think about it in those terms. You're right, DX. Totally right.
No, it will sell. Probably more than Anklet or the ones after last year's SSK.
To be quite honest though, it will sell a hell of a lot more. Because all of the new, there's going to be a new winner anyway because Sashi's not participating, so there will be a new winner. And you would say that if everyone wants their Oshi or their Team Oshi or their Team Oshi, I would say their sister group Oshi, they want to win. So you can expect to at least have about 1.2 million sales or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, do you have any opinion on this side?
I still think Oguri Yue is gonna get eaten by those two again, with her beside her. Because basically what happened with the Sakamichi AKB series, freaking Techi got eaten by those four beside her. Not Techi, Neru. Neru got eaten by Ashirin, Hori, Jurina, and Sakura. I'm like, these four are shining so much, the center doesn't even matter. So this, Oguri Yue is gonna be the focus, but you're gonna see the behind centers of Yui more, I think. Cause basically Mion, Berin, and Zuki, they're gonna have more focus at the back, cause Jurina and Sakura are just gonna kill the whole song. So I'm like, this is a bad idea. Why you give Yui the center here? But okay.
Well, like I said, it's management's idea of what their lineup is of a Sousenkyo. But before that, so after the announcement was away, I watched a little. There was also a lot of other showrooms busy, And for one instance, you had Kojima Mako, and she heard she was announced. She's like, "Ah, sweet," and then she continued to just go with her showroom. But I also watched the showroom with Machirin, and I forgot who was next to her.
Mayoshi.
Oh, sorry. That was really heartbreaking, wasn't it?
Before that specific showroom, because Mayoshi and Machirin were doing Battlefest, I think.
Yeah.
They were picked by fans. I think I voted for them, to be honest, to appear, and they did a showroom together. And I believe it was with the fourth girl that was announced that Machirin just started crying, and by the end she was wailing. And Mayoshi's there, and she's like, "Well, I've only been in Senbatsu once."
Yeah, she's sniffing. She's crying already. You see Machirin just like this all the time.
In the corner.
He doesn't want to talk. And the announcement was away. The showroom ended, and there was silence for like 5 minutes. And then they just looked at each other, and Machirin just started crying her eyes out. And it's like, I was like, "Oh, honey, just don't worry. Just don't worry. This Senbatsu announcement, it really doesn't mean it's over. You had your one shot in Senbatsu. Just wait till the next one. The fans will deliver. It's like, this is another CD I have to buy because I want Machirin in there as a good position." It's like, I think I'm gonna have 5 CDs this year. It's just gonna be a little bit crazy. Maybe order a box or something. I don't know.
My count for voting is 20.
Nice.
But though in defense, it's my first time doing voting, so I want it to be less, but I hope we'll get into this for the Sousenkyo, what they also announced, what it will be like the setup.
Yes. Very good. Thank you for the segue. Thank you for the segue on that side.
That's good. That was good.
Like, he fits right in there, doesn't he? So yes, they announced this will be. I think they said it's the 10th version of this one. This will be a global Sousenkyo. Well, it says global, but basically it's still Asia. Cornered. So all the sister groups, except for SNH48, who we will not talk about ever again, will be eligible to participate the Sousenkyo. Although every sister group, I didn't hear Mum48. I didn't hear any other of those. Only 2 of them. That's BKN48 and Hey Derek. Taipei48 is in there.
And don't forget JKT. They're also there.
Which one?
JKT.
Oh, well, JKT is like a given, but no Manila or something like that. So.
Yeah, I got so much to say. Let me fire things off. First of all, I first, when I was commenting about this in the comment section, because people were talking about it already, I was like, yeah, this is cool. But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if I like this because, well, 3 reasons. One, Taipei 48, let's just be honest. That's the only reason why that's even included is so Maria Abe can participate, because Taipei doesn't have any other members. Like, at least anyone cares about. No offense, but
Colin?
I just, like...
we did the check before, and no TPE member has applied for Sousenkyo.
Yeah, Maria Abe would be the only one that probably would if she even does. So Manila 48, we won't even go there because that's just a train wreck and a mess and that's just a mistake. And like their name should be Mistake 48 because literally that's what they are. So we're not even going to discuss that horrible botchery. But the thing is like you have to be honest here. This is BNK's, this is Bangkok's show, man. They're crushing it. I mean, AKB members better watch the F out because, I think BNK might actually end up with, a decent amount of members in the 100 Senbatsu. They're at least going to fill at that top spot. And then also, you can't ever count out JKT. So, in a way, it's cool. But the other 2 reasons why I'm not sure I'm okay with this is because number one, it's already so crowded just with AKB. Like this now, these poor girls have to compete with girls they don't even know their names and they don't even know what they look like. Because let's be honest, some of these girls, if we're gonna hear like some crazy Thai name for like the 89th spot, all the AKB members are gonna be like, who? And it's just this sucks. It's like all these girls, it's hard enough as it is for them. And then the number one thing is, I'm really worried, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong here, but what if like, let's say some Bangkok 48 member has like some super billionaire Woda in Thailand who like basically shoots like some unknown Thailand member to number one, and like here we're all thinking, oh, it's gonna be Ogi, oh, it's gonna be Nachan, and then it turns out to be like some girl we can't even say her, like we don't even know who she is. It's like the potential for that when you go world is really exponential because, there might be some huge fans. I'm just saying, it's just, I don't know. I like, let's just keep it how it is.
How many votes do you need to have to position, right? So 15,000 votes will get you a guaranteed position in the top 80, right?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sashi's not participating, so all those votes and Mayu are somewhere
out there.
Interesting, interesting to decide.
Out there.
But I'm looking currently at the people who are participating. What I find funny right away is, like you said, so Taipei 48, no one. Bangkok 48, a few of them. STU 48, all of them. They're just like on day one they entered to be in there. Then I'm looking at NGT48. This interesting is like all the powerhouses of NGT48 want to be there, except for Katomina.
Oh yeah.
What?
Katomina has not entered yet, but the rest of NGT who are, prominent of getting a Sousenkyo position already did. So I'm wondering, is she still a little late? Is she forgetting? Is she contemplating even participating?
We better ask our boy, the super Ochi, because Flores better give us the lowdown in the comments. No, I'm sure she's gonna participate. She's gonna crush it if she does. I have a feeling like it's gonna be a good year for her. But then again, I don't know, because again, we have 20 plus more spots, and we got World Senbatsu, and I'm just telling you, man, like when you add Stu to the mix, like they're going to have at least 12, 13 members are going to rank, it. So that's 13 plus members and the regular AKB groups that aren't going to get it. You know what I mean? And NGT's had a heck of a year. So Katomina she's certainly part of the NGT conversation this year, but I should say last year. But, it's all, there's so many members in NGT now that I think are legitimate, like, rankers, and I'm not talking like top like 60 to 80. I'm talking like deep rankers we're gonna see. So it's just, I don't know, man. But Katsumi, if she doesn't participate, man,
it's way too early to decide it. But I noticed that like the rest of the team already, like the main powerhouses already entered, but she didn't. So I wonder why. When I look at HK, go ahead.
On the thing about STU48 joining all together in one shot is because today was actually the last performance of STU48 member Chuo Orie. So that's the reason why they waited with signing up.
Okay. On HKT48 side though, Miyawaki Sakura has not entered yet, but probably she's still busy editing her YouTube show So there are 2 episodes out from Miyawaki Sakura. First one was Platoon. She's legit a good player. But Undertale is like, she did the first part with Flowey, and it's like, okay, that's it. Little longer videos, please, if you're gonna do a Let's Play. Just look for Game Grumps for more information or something like that. But then I'm looking at SKE48, and following Matsui Jurina's leadership and suit, like a lot of members are participating on that side. They're really a team effort, and SKE has been it. Yeah, go ahead.
From SKE, Lala is not participating.
You got ahead of my sentence. I was going to say everybody was following suit of entering SK48, except for one prominent one who was saying last year there's always light behind the clouds. Well, apparently you don't go further or something, or you're gonna stay inside because you're not entering. Why? Why wouldn't you enter? Maybe okay. I think she has the idea that she is not. Her push has already been settled down because she hasn't been. Well, SKE48 does one single a year, I think.
Think.
Yeah, so maybe she's like, I don't want to go through that hell again of promoting myself and not actually doing well in Sousenkyo. So I wonder why.
I was shocked to hear it. I was actually planning on voting for her. English, why not? I like her, and the reason she gave, I think, was because she is a final year in school. She wants to focus on school, so she doesn't want to do it because of the pressure of SSK, which I kind of get. But it's a bit unfortunate. I really wanted to vote for her. It's everyone has their own reason. I mean, Kato Mina hasn't applied for Sousenkyo. Mayoshi neither. She has mentioned it last Friday before Kimidari because she was on it, or she won because she's amazing. And she said that she wanted to aim for it. I didn't hear any number. I only heard Next Girls, which she was in last year, and it's. Maybe one maybe takes a while, maybe on the last day because they're busy or they don't know, they're contemplating. It's a bit sad that Rara doesn't enter because I wanted to vote for her because I think she's great. She has this mature aura around her for me, but this nice little streak of not childish, but that inner child, and I really like that, and she's really cute, and the English, it's a charm point.
The one I'm not seeing, who I'm expecting, was also from SKE, but I'm forgetting her name currently, is Kitagawa Ryoha. Yeah, she's not in there yet. Well, it's still too early because you still have enough time to vote in there. But if your aim is Sousenkyo, wouldn't you want to participate as soon as possible, or is there scheduling issues to go to the theater and enter, or go to a handshake event and then enter? I think we're still looking at it, but if you look at the people who want to be in there, shouldn't you already be in there?
Yeah, I would agree.
Like
maybe scheduling.
Okada Nana isn't in there either, and that's I'm not worried. But I'm seeing like Megu or Judy or Sena is in there. I'm seeing Kawamoto Saya wants to be in there. Yokoyama Yui, almost like half of Team 8 is gonna be in there. And yeah, Komiyama Mahardika, she still has the mindset. Sousenkyo is very important. But I think the other ones are like, I'll do tomorrow. Do you think that's the right attitude, or should you be like, hey, the booths are open, should I enter right away? Or we had the joke with Yamamoto Saika, who does it always last minute.
Yeah, true.
And there's a crazy like pose. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe something like that. Maybe
maybe scheduling. Maybe they're still anxious or nervous. Something they're not too certain, and they wanted to be % certain because it's the single, the 53rd single, will be released 31st of May.
Something like that, yeah.
Which is still quite a ways away, and they also have the promotional videos that they will do. So that they will have to put in effort and time, and maybe they don't have that yet, or maybe it's like, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Like, I'm not too sure, or procrastinating maybe a bit. I do it too, but why not? Why not yet? Maybe they're out of town, city, whatever, and they can't find the time to apply yet. Whether I wanted to talk about it, BNK, because I actually kind of follow BNK, not as much as Mette. From the comments, she always does that. And the 4 girls, like I think she said 4 girls, and I agree with her that likely to get in it because of their popularity, which is well, Izurina, Japanese fans, maybe. The second one is Cha Prong, if I pronounce her name correctly. She is like...
Apricot, yeah.
Yeah, she is... I'm not that into her, but she is like really popular, If I look at the for instance, which is quite high. And there is one I'm rooting for. It's Music. She is the center for Corsair 4 Sai version. She is also really great. She can do a killer Pikachu impression. That sold me on her when I saw it. Like, she can sing, she can dance, she can do many things. Hey, like, and then I was like, okay, Pikachu impression. Hey, I like her. And then the one girl I would see getting into it, that's Pun, and she is the captain of B3, I think, the team.
Yeah.
And she is also like, I would say frontline. I would vote for her because I really like her. She reminds me in a way of Takamina, and I think she and Derek as well.
There go Derek.
Unfortunately, but I could see them rank, which is something we forgot, is that they added another group, below the upcoming girls, like 81 through 100. Like, they've added 20 more extra spots, which means it's even bigger, and the more likely to get girls in it, which is something, again, sorry, something concerning that I had, agreeing with Derek a bit. Two things. One, more girls, which means, will they go to Japan? Will they be there in the concert? Will they be sitting there nicely, waiting, hopefully, maybe, to get their name heard so they can go? And if not, they will all be sitting there silently if they don't get the right amount. But also all the costs that would be needed to get them all there, unless they stay in their country or they do it at the theater. But if they are, if they are being there needs to be a translator or something, Or the thing is about BNK, they do post in English on Instagram and even on Facebook. That's quite handy. Like, I can't make heads or tails out of Thai, and Japanese a tiny bit. And how will that be? What if Music Center, Corsair Fortune Cookie, if she ranks 55th, I don't know, she can't do Japanese. There's only, besides Izurina, there's one girl that can do Japanese. She's Miori. Yeah, she is in the Renachi stage play. Yeah. And she is in Japan right now. I saw a post of her yesterday or tomorrow, or this morning, where she is in Japan right now doing something. And she has been getting that recognition. And she knows Japanese. I don't know how specifically, I forgot, but she could do a speech if she gets ranked. But how about, JKT or, TPE, maybe, probably not, maybe only...
You're getting into way far thinking on that side. I think you're overthinking on that side too much. It would be like, it's now a free trip to Japan. You have, like, the idea is, like, all these girls are here. You want to have the impression, like, how big Sousenkyo is. That's the idea. To see them ranked, that's a whole nother thing, and I don't think that's too overthinking. Yeho, you go ahead.
Update, Derek's computer just randomly restarted.
Oh.
Okay. Well, hopefully he'll come back right now, because we've been going now for a past hour, and I would like to go then to recommendations for next week. What is the thing you say one watch? Let's go with Colin first. What do you think should be on the list for watching next week?
Utage. There is the 29th, I think. It might be up on 48, 46 Doga. Sashi, Mayu, Yukirin, and Michan, they will do something request festival, I think. I was able to understand. And they are going to perform a song. And I think that will be very interesting to see Mayu so soon, with the other three doing a song. Yes, you.
It's Sayane, Yukirin, Sashi,
Sashi, Michan, Yukirin, and Mayu. Not Sayane.
It's 5 of them, right?
Oh, Sayane is also participating, but I don't think with that. Maybe.
No. She has her own stuff with the guitar, but she will be there just as always. She's part of the Utage group. I'm looking forward to Utage. It's always a fun program to watch, and finally it's been there since it's been almost a year since I haven't seen it, so good for that. Anything else on recommendations?
Yeah. Yeah.
Talk now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually Mayu's birthday today, so.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
True.
right.
In Japan. Yeah. Because
Happy
it's still
birthday,
the
Mayu.
woo 24, right? 24th
so.
birthday.
Ah, that's
I
fine.
think it's May.
Okay,
She's
do you have recommendations, Yeo?
Mayu's drama is actually coming up soon too, so.
Is there a date or?
No, like not like I think next month. I'm actually looking forward to her drama. So
Do you have a plot? What's the
Fun.
drama going to be about actually? Do you
I
have some
think
idea?
it's about like her being part of a secretary of an investigator or something.
Mhm.
That's
Okay.
basically the plot that I'm reading right
Ah.
now. So not sure about the full details, but that's probably the story.
Okay.
She looks so hot though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Um,
to be expected.
All right, DX.
Well, I have one at least. A friend of mine. It's not going to be a regular show or anything like that. I'll do that one later. But right now, I am following a friend on Discord. He's doing a Challenge 48 series, where he, for the upcoming 48 days, he's posting a video talking about how AKB48 or the 48 group influences his life. It's pretty fun to watch.
Is
and
this Steve something?
Yeah, Sticks his videos. Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch actually.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I really like to plug that.
Yeah,
And on the variety side, well, watch Nemostelebi with the
The
legs
legs.
content.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, hey, we
Oh.
talked about how emphasis on the legs they were. Let's do a whole
Yep.
show about it. And
Yep, pretty much. That's one recommendation I would do.
I already saw
the-
Nachan and Yuri in it. I'm waiting for Fujita Nana, but I haven't seen her yet. So
Ah, yeah.
Definitely. So that's one recommendation video-wise, I would say, and the other one is Nemostelebi. When the team from STU48 goes cave exploring, pretty much, and some
Oh, cool.
interesting situations, of course.
Is that the same cave they have done in?
you cut out.
Can you repeat it?
Is it the same cave that they did in the past with Nemosu?
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah,
with,
I
recently.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh yeah, cool. That's
So that
fun.
one that's
Oh.
another one of my recommendation, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm into STU lately. I don't know what it is.
I would say on the Sakamichi side, well, if you have enough time in the world, you can try and rewatch the 46-hour of Nogi
yeah.
Saka 46 special.
I
To
still
do
haven't
that.
watched it yet, actually. So, but
Well,
I know Josh has been posting a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go to MrJoshbox's Twitter, or he'll probably do like a YouTube series on that, and recap all the highlights from that event. He is a beast for watching that. And I would say watch AKB48 show. That is then a special Keikizaka 46 show. They'll do Garasu and Momori for songs, plus bathroom travel. Am I saying it right? I think
Yeah.
bathroom travel. Yeah,
Yeah.
they do that performance, and they do a funny skit when they're nurses and trying to help the guy who's always like, you know that, and stuff like. It's a regular thing on AKB48 shows, so that's a recommendation on my side. One more thing though, I know Colin, you'll be at AnimeCon coming up.
Yeah.
You have your ticket. You also have a reserved seat for like when we do a viewing party. I'm not.
Yes.
So to be honest, it's still like not set in stone, but we'll definitely save you a seat on the first row when we're doing our show. And
It'll be fine.
I still don't have the details on the viewing party. We'll definitely have a viewing party. I don't care where it is. It is maybe in a hotel room. It's gonna be outside. I don't care where we're gonna do it. We're gonna have a viewing party on that day because we cannot miss out on this chance of watching
Yeah.
Sousenkyo live.
Yeah.
But
Together.
for the listeners here, if you are planning to go to the Netherlands and AnimeCon, just let me know so that we can, take care of that. So go email me at podcast48@gmail.com. I can't show it on this side because I haven't edited in yet. I'm sorry for that, but we'll provide the link in the description below.
Of course.
Yep, just come and hang out with us on the whole weekend
Yeah,
for
yeah,
talking
it's
about
really fun.
AKB48, other stuff, and how much of a chance would you have? Like, you know, I want to watch Sousenkyo, but man, I don't want to watch it alone or something like that.
Or you could go to Japan and watch Sousenkyo at the.
Hush,
Hey, yes.
Hush.
Just go away. Yeah, it's like
Boot.
I'm still mad that you're not coming again too. Oh, he left actually.
He actually left.
Then you told him to. Oh my! And the Dutch remain on.
Yeah, nope, he's back.
AKB.
But yes, go to AnimeCon if you want to have like.
Seems like AKB has returned, though.
I can't see it because Derek left, so our viewing seating is all messed up.
Oh yeah.
So I'm now only seeing half of Colin's face. My face is almost like this, and I'm only seeing like partially the head of one of those Love Life figurines. So.
Oh. So, okay, well, might as well use it then since he's doing it anyway. So, what's going on? Tell us, give us the lowdown. What's going on?
Watch the Sousenkyo live. It's gonna be lit.
Very good. Then AKB just dabbed. Oh my god.
I never shot that see that.
It's over.
So. Okay, I want to give Derek a chance to come back and give his recommendation because he always have a lot, and I want to still hear some more of his stories. Other than that, are there any other recommendations we will say that are important to watch?
For AK Bingo, they are doing, I believe that it's returning. You know?
What?
The what?
For AK Bingo, they are doing the dance battles again, right?
That's
that's. You know, that's great. You know, something nostalgic in a way. You know, doing a dance battle again. I'm excited. Like, I think that will be fun.
Last time was amazing with Team 8, of course.
Team 8, yeah.
That was so good. Bob,
really liked it.
Cherry Bob. No. Okay, yeah, watch that.
Derek's still loading his head, so.
Oh.
NGT48 is coming up. Nogizaka under construction. We have time for that. You know, just watch the regular stuff on that side. I am not stalling. I am not waiting.
No.
One of the judges, I think it's Nakaya dance court.
Takehiro?
Yeah, Takehiro's
Takehiro, yeah, good. Oh yeah, so a quick discussion that have any one of you watched Last Idol?
I want to, but I've been procrastinating.
Well, the only connection with AKB is one of the judges is sometimes an AKB member, and most of the time it's Yokoyama Yui on that side. And they're like up and coming idol groups, and they're like battling like an idol, like a music station, like a X Factor style, and see what the judges are very severe on that side. So it's pretty legit on. It's really an American style program that's airing in Japan, so interesting on that side.
If I don't think I don't want to watch that though, because if it's as bad as here in the West, that's
no, it's not. So it's the Western style, but it's Japanese floral. Like the way the show is set up is American style, but it's still Japanese.
Okay.
So it is interesting. I watched a little bit and I forgot totally all the names because they didn't stick. But yeah, it's one of those shows. Yes, there he is.
Before Derek loads in, I have to say thank you for the years AKB Otoge for making music.
Oh yeah, Otoge is quitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
The AKB48 music game is stopping today, or.
Yeah. Okay, Derek, thank you for coming back. Sorry that your computer crashed.
It's welcome to Japan. You know, land of ultimate technology, but can't make simple things like this work. I'm so sorry.
Again,
people watching.
Again, I was not stalling for waiting for Derek to have his recommendations. But Derek, since you're here again, what are your recommendations for next week?
Which you totally are stalling.
No, you're mistaken. You're wrong.
Don't believe the Canadians. No.
Okay, so you want recommendations, right? So, well, first of all, just where we left off about the newest single, I will say this: I'm very curious to see how this all plays out into the Sousenkyo. So maybe my recommendations would be a couple things. First of all, is again, you know, we're entering Sousenkyo season here. You know, it's only a couple months away already. It's hard to believe that we're even saying that, but you know. Here, so it would be great to hear what anyone thinks about, you know, stuff like this. Does the 50-second single reflect what could possibly be looking at in terms of the Sousenkyo this year, or does the World Senbatsu throw yet another monkey wrench into this already crazy Sousenkyo? Because it's already unpredictable. Add this World Senbatsu, now it's like unbelievably nuts. Yeah, it's really like that. So my recommendation would be to think about that first and foremost. Second of all, just a couple quick ones. I would encourage people to check out my blog. I'm going to be posting fairly soon here about my trip to Japan already. I got a lot of stuff to talk about, especially the underground idol world that I'm now officially working in as of like today, you know, just actually working. Mm-hmm. Plus, I think it would be nice, again, I'm just going to shamelessly promote here, check out my Patreon page and support me if you can, because it encourages me and incentivizes me to keep doing what I'm doing with the idol world. I'm marching my way up towards AKB, believe me. I'm getting there, little by little. You know, helping out and maybe being able to sit down with AKB one day and being like, now listen. You're gonna give us all of your English speakers on our show, and we're gonna do this. And how about you do this? And yeah, they're gonna hear me. And I'm gonna leave. They're gonna be like, who does this guy think he was? You know. My other recommendations would be to be thinking about, you know, East Meets West Music Fest in August. That's coming up. It'll be here before you know it. I will be making official announcements probably the second week of April. Now that I'm here in Tokyo, I can actually sit down and meet with the last two groups that I need to meet with to like finalize everything. But so far everything's good. I did have one American group drop off, the Pathology, which I was kind of bummed about, but that's okay. It actually just gives us more time, and it also looks like I'll be adding a surprise. I'm not going to say what, but it's a pretty big one. And that's for both days, actually. It's going to be a pretty huge surprise. So, you know, in a way, it works out. Everything works out. So that's August 18th and 19th, and I'll be, you know, putting ticket sales up, and we're going over the VIP, perks. We're trying to figure out some stuff. So that's something else, too. I want to ask, if you were to go to an idol show, what would you want the perks to be? Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And then last but not least, I'm looking for a top 10 list, a new one for my blog. It doesn't necessarily have to be AKB related. I'm kind of wanting to do something more in the underground idol world this time, but I'm kind of looking for something more like to kind of like prelude my top 10 Sousenkyo prediction that I usually do every year. And I'm always usually horribly wrong. Horribly.
We all are. Mine was pretty off as well, so yeah.
Yeah, where's Ogi like destroyed everybody's brackets. I mean, if this was March Madness, she basically ruined everybody's brackets just about. But so this year it's really anybody's game. So I think I'll be off even more than I am normally. But I mean, Tanya will be number one, of course. But no, that goes without saying. She applied, by the way, for a Sousenkyo. She showed, so I'm excited. She's making a good run. So God bless that little girl. I love her. Anyways, I would say if you have a top 10 list, like somebody had mentioned, like I think it was Flores actually. Like, what was it? Like weirdest idols or like craziest?
Yeah.
I really like that idea, but there's so many of them in the underground world. It's really hard to pick because so many of them are so beyond freaking weird. It's not even funny. But maybe AKB members, I don't know. But then that's kind of close to variety, yeah. Like, so if somebody has something,
I think you can change that because some of them don't have the variety skills, but they are nuts.
They're nuts, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, because Tanya, of course, I think would take the cake out of all of them. But I don't know. There's some other ones that are really weird lately that are coming up. But I'd love your suggestions of who you think would fit in a bill like that. So maybe top 10 weirdest AKB members, and then maybe just a top 10 list in general for underground idols. You know, shoot me some stuff. I read every comment. I try to respond to every comment. Once I get more situated here in Tokyo, then it'll be easier to do it more regularly. But yeah, just those are my recommendations. So.
Okay then. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for this week. Anything else before we leave off?
Nope.
Yeah, thank you, Colin.
Thank
you for joining.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. One quick side note: we haven't talked about this, but I'm thinking next week we'll talk a little bit more on this since the announcement from the single was bigger. During the announcement of the single, someone else announced a graduation, and that is
Oh yeah.
Kojima Natsuki, who decided to end graduation before that. Quickly, I would say it's a fun member, but it was the if we're talking about weirdness, she was like she had a lot of sex appeal. She didn't have a cutesy side. She threw it in her face. It's like she felt like 10 years older than her normal age. Not because on how she looks amazing, but the way she acts, and it doesn't feel like she has ever fit in the idol world, I would say. As a model, I would say her more, but I don't know. She didn't feel right fit compared to the rest of the AKB members. She did have the good fan, of course, the football fan that changed Oshi's, I think, during an AK Bingo episode. So.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I would say most people know her. She came on the spotlight of I think the world with the Junkin tournament with the Kojima, you know, the
Kojima,
name.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
So I think everybody kind of like really became aware of her then. She had kind of a moment. Then she had her scandal, and you know the scandal tainted her. She disappeared for a while. Like you know she was in, you know, idol purgatory for a while. But then I don't know. Like to me, it's exactly what you said, Robert. She's more adult. Like to me, she's got a grab your future ahead of her, and then some. She's got the best body for it. So I think she should. Did she say why she wanted to graduate? What's her reason?
I don't think she said anything. I don't think she said anything though.
Seemed to get one right. So, translation, you know, she's realizing she has no future in AKB, so she's like, screw this. It's too much work to not go anywhere. So
You always have this before Sousenkyo time. You either have people who will participate, not participate, or graduate. It's the cutting line. It's like okay, we're on this decision side. Maybe we'll reflect on that next week to be more on Kojima Natsuki's history, a little bit AK Bingo history or something, or event that she has done. So that's pretty fun, maybe.
good idea. Good idea. She'll be missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As always, like on that side. So I would say with that, thank you for watching this week's episode of 48 Talk. Hey, we'll see you next time. Yeo, take it away.
Cho.
Why is Yo-Yo center?